Good morning. It's time to get in touch. In Touch is a public affairs show dedicated to improving the lives of Susquehanna Valley residents. I'm Freddi Hammer, news director at Backyard Broadcasting.
It's kitten season, and many animal advocates and pet rescue nonprofits are working nonstop, answering calls, trying to find fosters, saving little furry lives, sometimes injured lives. And a bunch of animal lovers we have here at Backyard Broadcasting, and we want to help. And one rescue that caught my attention recently is Heidi's Furry Friends Rescue in Williamsport. And today, Heidi McCarty, the Heidi and Heidi's Furry Friends Rescue, is with us today. Hi, Heidi. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Sure. I got to know your organization a few weeks ago when you were seeking support for Ravioli, who did not survive a BB shot, and unfortunately, you had to make that terrible decision. Tell me a little bit about any of the recent things that we know about little Ravioli. How did that go down?
So we get quite a bit of calls. Lately, it's been quite a few emergencies, and this particular phone call, a lady said that she had seen a cat dragging its back legs going up under her lattice work of her front porch in Muncy. I had sent out my fiance and my son because there's not much space under the porch to get under there. My son is a skinny little guy, so he was able to get under there and get her. At first, we thought that she had been hit by a car or something of that sort. And then we got her home, and we had seen there was like a little blood spot on, like right below her ribs where the fur was kind of sticky. And so when we took her to the vet, it was quickly determined that she had been shot. Whether that was by a pellet or a BB, one of the two, it had shattered the vertebrae in that area and severed her spine. So she was unable to control like any movements, waist down, any bladder or bowel control. She didn't have it. And we had kept her going for throughout that day to determine what we wanted to do with her, how we were going to proceed, because this was only a 4-month-old kitten. Approximately 4 months. And she had so much, life left in her, and it was just absolutely devastating for us to have to make that decision. After talking to Rosebird Veterinary Center, they had determined that the kindest thing to do would be to humanely euthanize as she was suffering.
Give her a little love right there at the end.
Yeah.
Do you have any recent information from the state police? I understand they opened a case seeking the person responsible for Ravioli's, ultimately her death.
Correct. We don't have much to go on yet other than hearsay. Lots of people have came forward with somebody that they thought would be involved, but nothing that has any sort of proof or anything that they can go on. Unfortunately, with Ravioli's case, by the time we got to her, they think that her injury was at least a week old. So trying to pull cameras and pinpoint when this could have happened is very slim. Unfortunately, they need a lot of video proof in order to move forward. But her investigation is still open, and we are still hopeful. And I always tell everybody, even if we don't catch the person that did this, I want it to be an eye-opener for everybody else who is doing things like this that we are watching, and we will seek justice. This is not tolerated in our community.
No way. Unnecessary and cruel things that happen to animals is heartbreaking for us to have to watch. And on a practical side, you're already trying to help maintain the health and stuff of these cats, but then you have an emergency that has to deplete your funds.
Right.
Were you able to raise funds to take care of Ravioli this time? And I understand you have some dogs that are there now.
Yes. We had a generous donor cover Ravioli's bill in full. That was amazing. We were very happy for that, very thankful and appreciative for that. We have gotten many more emergencies since then, and the current one is a couple of little dogs that have been dumped at Trout Run Park in Trout Run, and they were all pretty matted and in rough shape, so they're all going to need fixed. They all had to be groomed. A lot of veterinarian care that they never had prior. So that is what we're currently working on in the midst of kitten season that we didn't really plan on doing.
Yeah. Extra expenses for sure. So we want to help out all we can. And there's definitely donating opportunities and the information at Heidi's Furry Friends Rescue on Facebook, which is a good way to find you, as well as your website, same, Heidi's Furry Friends Rescue. I'm so interested in your life, Heidi. I mean, you wake up thinking about pets, and you go to sleep thinking about pets, I assume.
Yeah, probably even in my sleep.
You're dreaming about rescuing these sweet animals.
Yeah.
Talk about your foster program that you work with a foster group, don't you?
Yeah, so I started this. I've been doing this since I could pretty much walk and talk with my father. And when he passed away in 2018, I decided to carry it on, give it a name, and keep going with it because it meant so much to him. And that was really the time that we had together. So this is very important to me for multiple reasons. I do this out of my home. We don't have a brick and mortar shelter, at least not yet. I have 3 girls who foster for me. They do it out of their homes. So it's literally just like a 4-man operation. It's just me, my fiance, and my children, and then these 3 other girls. We do have people maybe retired or military, and they need a purpose or they want to help out, and they'll do like transporting for us, or they'll offer to foster short term for us. So we have many more volunteers than just the fosters, people that are willing to help out in a pinch if needed.
Wonderful. Now that you're a 501c3 organization, does that mean you're able to be part of Raise the Region, or were you this year?
We were. This is the first year that we were part of Raise the Region, and we did really well. I was very surprised.
I'm so glad. Good. That's definitely good when you get to market your own things and all the people who love you can support you for sure.
Yes.
You have cats for adoption, or they come from these foster helpers that you have and they're at their homes, and you have pictures on your website?
Right. All the cats that we get in, some are owner surrenders, but most are just cats that have been dumped or found outside, maybe once had an owner, and then or injured, and we take them in and we rehabilitate them and adopt them out. All of the adoptions go through me, and all the intakes go through me, and then once they're cleared and they're okay for a foster, then they'll go on to a foster home and then on to adoption.
What costs do you ask a person asking to adopt a pet? What costs do you incur?
So our kittens are $125. That they come microchipped, fully vaccinated, spayed, and FELV tested. They're from kitten, like when they're fixed until they're about a year old, it's $125. Over a year old, we ask $75. Same thing, fixed, vaccinated, everything, all the vetting is done. We do a deal when they adopt 2, because we always recommend adopting in pairs. So we'll do a deal when they adopt 2. And then dogs, we don't do dogs a ton, but when we do dogs, it's about $250, and they also are fully vaccinated and fully vetted.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, yeah, people can get in touch with you and ask and see the animals on your website, Heidi's Furry Friend Rescue, Inc.
Yep.
Wonderful.
And then some, if it's not updated, they're always welcome to follow our pages and call or text, and I can always send them pictures of who is available too.
Where is Elwood Road in Williamsport? That's where your location is.
We are right off of Country Club Drive. We're like right off of Lincoln Drive, right in the heart of Loyalsock. There's a little cul-de-sac there, and we're like nestled in like the third house on Elwood. We live there. We do this out of our home, so that is where I run it out of. And then the other girls that do it for me, they're in like South Williamsport and Williamsport. So all of them are local.
We want to get some information about, I guess we just want to sort of hear your feelings about people that don't understand what it takes to be a part of rescue. If people give you criticism or saying to you, what do you use that money for? It's like, I want you to have a chance to say, this is what we use the money for.
Yeah, we do get, not a ton, but we get people that will say, what is the reason that you ask for money or donations every day? Or what is the reason that you're always online fundraising? And I have no problem answering that question. If we don't fundraise, we can't operate. We are solely run by donations. We are all volunteers. None of us are paid. Every dollar that comes into the rescue goes to supplies, gas, animals, anything and everything that the animals need. So on Sundays, we do what's called a $5 Sunday. I started it about a year ago. I started realizing that people weren't just donating to donate. I had to put it out there for people to donate. So every Sunday, it was like a gentle reminder that, hey, we are here. We have animals. We are in need. If you could even just donate $5, like no amount is too small.
Right.
And it goes to a great cause. And it really has worked really well in our favor. Because some people are like, I'm glad you remind us, we forget to donate. So there comes a lot of costs with everybody that comes in has to be, vaccinated, dewormed, spayed, neutered, their FELV testing. And then you figure the emergencies that we get in, sometimes they're C-sections, sometimes they're amputations, they're dental work, and all of that is very expensive. And people think because we are a 501c3 that we get these crazy discounts at the vet, and it's not true. We pretty much pay what everybody else does, except for your cat spay and neuter. and stuff like that. But like dogs, we pay full price for dogs. So while the vet is amazing and they do amazing work, they too have a living and they too have bills. So people tend to forget that. People sometimes will comment, well, you're a rescue. Why isn't the vet doing this for free? Well, none of us could do it for free. I mean, these people have student loans. They have a business to run.
Sure.
So we are very thankful for the help that we get. And people really don't realize how much it adds up. And they'll say, oh, well, you just got this much money from Raise the Region, which didn't come in yet. But they'll say, what do you still need to fundraise for? And just one cat alone with an amputation or a C-section could be like $2,000, and it's gone. And then you have all these cats that are still waiting to be fixed and still waiting to be adopted. And they have to be fed and litter, and people don't really seem to understand or grasp how much it really costs.
And the cats and the animals are not the donation. They're not giving you an asset. It's something that you need to take care of. This is you're charged with this animal.
That's another silly thing. And people think, well, I donated that litter of kittens, so you should be able to make money on those. But that's not how it is. I mean, we don't charge nothing near what we put into these cats.
Right.
We ask that the little that we do ask for these cats, all it does is goes back into a fund so we can continue to help other animals. And if people stop donating or stop realizing that, then we have to close down. And when we close down, then where do all the animals go?
You're also a good resource because you've had a lot of experience with the different animals that you may have seen. You don't rescue the wild animals, but I saw on your Facebook page that in the Poconos, they had a raccoon that they unfortunately had a pest control company had to trap the animals. And this is a sad situation too, but you have the advice and know exactly what these people are going through at these rescues that have to deal with the wild animals too and endangered species.
Absolutely. And I'm friends with several people in the wildlife in need. So I did go through some of those courses. And while I'm not a rehabber, I have gotten many wild animals to, wildlife rehabbers. I'm very knowledgeable, and I've done this for a long time. And I always say, if I can't help you, I will find somebody who will.
Yeah.
It's always worth reaching out. If you think, hey, I got this bobcat, and she doesn't have to do bobcats, but what do I do? If you can't find somebody, ask a rescuer. They always have other people that they know who do things like that.
Sure.
And so we can always point you in the right direction. I will never turn anybody away that needs advice.
Well, we certainly appreciate that, Heidi. Of course, we're looking forward to success with kitten season, maybe finding great homes for everybody. What advice can you give us that we can do to make sure that if we see kittens or animals like in a field or in our yards, what should we do? What's the first thing?
The biggest thing, and I cannot stress this enough, is to spay and neuter. Okay. There are programs out there. There are clinics. They might be a little further out that will help you with the cost. There's PA Pets. There's other like low-income programs. The biggest thing is to trap them, get them fixed. Even if they have to go back on your property, it is so much better. The spraying, the fighting, all of that stops when you fix these cats.
Okay.
There's not, all these babies. People think, oh, there's just 2 cats here. That's no big deal. I don't have to fix them. But then next year, those 2 cats turn into 20. And then they're scrambling. And it's like, it falls on us because if you just would have fixed them when there was only 2, we wouldn't be here right now. And I understand a lot of people do struggle on this economy, and there are resources out there. If you just contact a rescue, we want to see you help these animals. We want to help you. We might not be able to help every single person, but we will find a way to get you in contact with somebody who can, because we are trying to combat this massive overpopulation of feral cats right now. And the best way we can do it is spay and neuter.
What kind of numbers are you talking about? Like, I just try to wrap my head around how many cats come into your rescue during kitten season.
Oh, my gosh. The ones that we could take in, I mean, it depends on adoption, but I would say kitten season, over 100 kittens and adults. And then we got to think about all the ones that we have to turn away because we just don't have the room or the resources or the fosters. A lot of people think that when they foster an animal, they have to pay the veterinarian expenses, and you don't. You only need like a bathroom or a small room and a little kennel, and you could be a foster and you could absolutely save lives. And the more fosters and the help that we have, the more that we can save.
Animals are such a treasure, and we should just treat them with the love that they give us. So I hope that we can continue to remember that they're precious beings.
Right, absolutely.
Well, Heidi McCarty, are you the owner? Would I call you the owner, the director of Heidi's Furry Friend Rescue?
Yeah, I'm the founder and owner, operator of it, yeah.
Well, thank you to you and your family and the friends you have that help you do this job to make sure that kittens and animals in our area are taken care of and make sure that they find foster homes and good homes and stay healthy. So thank you, Heidi, for being with us today on In Touch.
Thank you very much.
In Touch is locally produced in our studios at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport. To get in touch with us regarding questions, comments, or topic ideas, call weekdays between 8 and 5, 570-323-8200. You can also write to us at 1685 4 Mile Drive, Williamsport, PA 17701. Attention Freddi Hammer. Or email me at fhammer@backyardbroadcasting.com. For archived programs of our In Touch series, you can download and subscribe to our new Backyard Podcasting feature through a link on any Backyard Broadcasting website or obtained where podcasts are available. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Backyard Broadcasting. The programming discussed here on In Touch does not necessarily reflect the feelings or opinions of the management or staff. Thanks for listening to In Touch, a production of Backyard Broadcasting.